Mindfulness in the bedroom is the practice of bringing your full, non-judgmental attention to the physical and emotional sensations of the present moment. It is the transition from doing a physical act to truly experiencing a human connection. Many people spend their most intimate moments inside their own heads rather than in their bodies. They might be worrying about their physical appearance or mentally scrolling through a list of chores for the following day. This mental drift is often called spectating. It is the act of watching yourself perform from a distance instead of actually feeling what is happening to your skin and your senses. When the brain leaves the body, the nervous system often shifts into a subtle state of stress. This can dull physical sensation and make it much harder to reach a state of true relaxation or arousal. The human brain is wired to scan for distractions, but intimacy requires a different kind of focus. By consciously choosing where our attention goes, we can reclaim the depth of our physical experiences. Mindfulness works by signaling to the brain that you are safe and that it is okay to feel pleasure. It moves the focus from the prefrontal cortex, which handles logic and planning, to the sensory parts of the brain. The most effective way to stay present is to use your breath as an anchor. Deep, rhythmic breathing calms the heart rate and keeps your awareness centered on the rising and falling of your chest. When you breathe deeply, you invite your partner to synchronize their rhythm with yours. This creates a physiological harmony that grounds both individuals in the shared space of the room. You can also practice the sensory reset by focusing on one specific texture at a time. Notice the exact temperature of your partner's skin or the way the fabric of the sheets feels against your legs. Try to describe these sensations to yourself using simple, objective words. Instead of thinking this is good, try thinking this is warm or this is soft to keep the mind grounded in data. As you explore each other's bodies, bring a curious beginner's mind to every touch. Approach familiar areas as if you're discovering them for the very first time. When touching the breasts, pay close attention to the weight and the softness under your palms. Notice how the texture of the skin changes toward the nipple, and observe the subtle way the chest rises and falls with every breath. Focus on the sensation of the nipple hardening under your fingertip or tongue. Observe the temperature difference between your warm breath and the cool air in the room as it hits the skin. When the focus shifts to the penis, notice the pulse and the varying degrees of firmness. Pay attention to the sensitivity of the glands and the way the skin moves with even the slightest pressure. Observe the heat radiating from the area and the specific slickness of natural lubrication or oil. Let your mind record the contrast between the softest parts and the areas of greatest tension. When exploring the vagina and vulva, bring your awareness to the intricate textures and the internal warmth. Notice the soft, folded skin of the labia and the way blood flow creates a sense of fullness and presence. Focus your attention on the clitoris. Acknowledging its intense sensitivity without rushing toward a peak, observe how the sensations shift from a light graze to a steady, firm pressure. Mindfulness during different poses requires a conscious check-in with your body's alignment and tension. In a missionary position, feel the grounding weight of your partner against your chest and the synchronization of your heartbeats. Notice the points of contact between your thighs and bellies. Allow your awareness to settle on the feeling of being held and the pressure of the surface beneath you. If you are in a position where you're more active, such as being on top, focus on the rhythm of your own muscles. Feel the strength in your core and the fluid motion of your hips as they find a natural pace. When in a side-lying or spooning position, notice the length of your partner's body against your back. Pay attention to the feeling of their breath on your neck and the way your curves fit together like a puzzle. Another major barrier to mindfulness is goal orientation. When we focus entirely on the end result or a specific climax, we treat every moment leading up to it as a mere obstacle to be overcome. This finish line mentality creates a subtle form of performance anxiety. It turns a moment of connection into a task that must be completed successfully, which adds unnecessary pressure. By letting go of the need for a specific outcome, you remove the pressure to perform. This paradoxically often leads to a more intense and satisfying experience because the body is finally allowed to relax. If your mind begins to wander toward work or insecurities, do not judge yourself or get frustrated. Simply acknowledge the thought as a passing cloud and gently guide your focus back to the physical sensations. Distraction is a natural function of the mind, and the goal is not to eliminate it entirely. The real practice of mindfulness is the gentle act of returning to the present moment again and again. Sound can also be a powerful tool for grounding yourself in the now. Listen to the rhythm of your combined breathing and the subtle sounds of movement in the room. If you find yourself becoming overwhelmed or anxious, try opening your eyes and making direct eye contact. This visual connection acts as a powerful tether that pulls you back into the shared reality of the moment. The eyes are often described as the windows to the soul, but in this context, they are windows to the present. Seeing your partner's expression helps melt away the abstract thoughts swirling in your mind. Mindfulness also involves being honest about what you're feeling as it happens. Small whispered cues can help both you and your partner stay locked into the same physical frequency. Communication should not be seen as an interruption to the flow of intimacy. Rather, it is a way to refine the experience and ensure that both people are truly participating in the same moment. Sometimes mindfulness means slowing down the pace significantly. When we move too fast, the brain often skips over the nuances of touch and sensation, making the experience feel blurry or rushed. By slowing down, you give your nerve endings more time to send signals to the brain. This increases the resolution of the experience, making every touch feel more vivid and intentional. Consider the role of scent in your mindful practice. The olfactory system is directly linked to the limbic system, which governs emotions and memory. Taking a moment to inhale the scent of your partner's skin can trigger a deep sense of familiarity and safety. This primal connection helps bypass the thinking mind and engages the feeling body. After the experience is over, resist the urge to immediately check your phone or move on to the next task. Spend a few minutes simply feeling the afterglow and the lingering sensations in your muscles. This period of quiet stillness allows the brain to process the oxytocin and bonding chemicals released during intimacy. It solidifies the emotional connection and leaves you feeling more replenished than drained. The transition from intimacy back to daily life is just as important as the act itself. Rushing away from the moment can create a sense of abruptness that diminishes the previous connection. Mindfulness in sex is also about self-compassion. It involves accepting your body exactly as it is in this moment, without the need for filters or self-criticism. When you stop judging your body, you free up a massive amount of mental energy. This energy can then be redirected toward experiencing pleasure and expressing affection. Remember that presence is a skill that requires practice and patience. It is not about being perfect, but about how many times you are willing to return to the here and now. Every time you catch your mind wandering and bring it back to a touch or a breath, you're strengthening your capacity for joy. You're learning to inhabit your body fully and without apology. Think of mindfulness as a gift you give to yourself and your partner. It is the gift of being truly there, which is the most profound form of intimacy anyone can offer. As you continue this practice, you may find that the benefits extend beyond the bedroom. Learning to be present in one area of life often makes it easier to be present in all others. The more you practice, the more natural it will become. Eventually, the shift from thinking to feeling will happen with less effort and more grace. May your moments of connection be deep, your breaths be full, and your mind be right where your body is. True intimacy begins with the simple decision to stay,